change as news of a new kid spreads throughout the land. In order to save the humans, the Grand Wizard must get to the new kid.
What's up guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are doing another card showdown episode. This is for the Kenny, since you all voted, and Kenny actually came out on top with 73% out of all the other guys, so we're doing Kenny. If you want to vote for the next character on screen now, there's a pop-up in the top right where you can vote for the next couple cards. So I'll randomly just pick cards that I actually have 4 off. So for example, Kyle won't be probably done until Bounty Hunter card comes out, and same for Craig. So for this week we are doing Kenny, which is Inuit Kenny, Cyborg Kenny, Hermes Kenny, and Princess Kenny. All these 4 cards will be going at each other and see who wins. And before we start, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, as these videos do take quite a while to make. And let's get into the ranking right after this intro. Okay, so the first person we are going to review is actually Hermes Kenny. And he is the first Kenny you unlock, along with Cyborg Kenny in Arena 10. So what are his abilities? So he's actually one of the unique ones, since his death wish actually affects you rather than the other team. So he's actually double shot energy cost for 2 seconds. However, this does actually take effect when you're on the double energy stage. So in the last minute, you're able to go up to 4 times energy for 2 seconds once he dies. So from reviewing the gameplay, it looks like that it normally takes around 3.5 seconds to get 1 bar. So with the 2 extra seconds that Hermes Kenny gives you, it normally gives you like 1.5 energy extra. So technically he's a 1.5 2 cost card. And also with the extended overtime period where it doubles your energy, you kind of get quite a bit back just from using him. Okay, now we're going to go to his stats. Okay, so Hermes Kenny is a 3 cost and is an epic. He has base level 1, 77 HP, 82 attack. His max speed is 1.4, so he's quite a fast target since he is an assassin. His attack speed is 1.9, making him the 15th fastest character in South Park. So what does this mean? So basically, because he is an epic, which means he kind of has to have a fast attack speed, just because if he didn't, his scaling properly wouldn't work. So normally you have him at max level 2 or 3. I believe he can still get taken out by a max level 5 assassin. However, he will be able to get the first hit off because he beats mostly every assassin apart from a few. But he will get the first hit off, meaning that either the assassin will probably die, or the assassin will be really weak and your tower will be able to take him out. However, he is an epic, so finding him won't be as rare. I think I've only found out 11 of him, so unless you're fully going for him to be at a high level, you can probably pick him up a lot in the PvP shops, like through your journey of playing the game. Obviously, I haven't paid for any, so I don't think he's as good. If it was a rare or common even, his health and damage definitely would scale a lot, especially with the fast attack speed. I think he will be used a lot more. But because he's an epic, a lot of people don't have him at a high level, so that's going to hold him back. And finally, so he is considered one of the weak cards in Mystical. So at the moment, he's going to go place 1, but I do think he's going to fall down a bit and later on, with the other Kennys just being a lot more powerful than him. So the next card is Cyborg Kenny, which you unlock at Arena 10. And he is quite a strong card actually, since his ability is quite good, considering what it does. So his ability is controls the person who kills him for 10 seconds. Now you can use this in many ways, such as placing him only towards a tower while he gets killed by a fighter, and then the fighter turns the switches onto their tower. So there's many things, but especially he also does a damage. So you can put him behind a tank and he'll clear the swarm of units, and then also get killed. So his death wish is pretty useful, but there are many cowards in the game which can counter it, such as rats, any swarm units, purify mainly, and even that's a good thing, especially running sci-fi, you can bait the purify. But let's look at his stats and see what you can do. So Cyborg Kenny is a 4 cost and is an epic, has a base level 1, 80 HP, 80 attack, which scales up pretty close together. And this works well for him because your main target is to get Cyborg Kenny killed, especially pretty fast. So if you spawn him in, rather than him die to some rats, if he has decent amount of health, then normally another assassin or fighter will be able to one-hit him. Now you gotta remember that Cyborg Kenny does actually heal the target that is mind controlled, meaning it can be pretty bad for you considering that he does 80 attack and heals about 50. I'm not sure if that scales, but and if they are purify ready, that means basically you only like 20 damage. So you gotta really work out well. So especially if you level him up, he will do a decent amount, maybe 2 hits in if he's lucky, against a fighter, and then also mind control him, and working around him is kind of like the main strategies, because you kind of want him to be mind control on their side, so you can mind control a fighter or assassin, which will then switch onto his tower. Since it is only 10 seconds, if you were to mind control them in your area, by the time they get to their side, they'll be walking back to yours because the mind control is gone. And he also does have a pretty slow attack speed, so normally you won't even, depending on his level, you won't even get hit off if they have another fast assassin, like if, for example, Hermes Kenny will always beat him. This is because Cyborg Kenny is actually the 30th fastest character, so there are 30 people hiding that will always beat him in the first hit. Now, majority of them are fighters and some tanks, meaning that he will manage to get some hits off, but most assassins will normally beat him and will get zero effect apart from the mind control. Cyborg Kenny definitely is the weakest Kenny out of everyone, but because of his power, it definitely makes him one of the strongest. So for this ranking, I'm going to place him currently first, which is past Hermes Kenny, just because his power is so powerful, especially baiting out any purifiers, and especially with the purifier nerf. You know, you can really, if they're not running rats or a weak card which can answer Cyborg Kenny, or if you're lucky enough to, your new kid will actually kill Cyborg Kenny, because if he doesn't, if your assassin gets mind controlled or a fighter within the charged ability, you're kind of screwed, because then he can send in more backup and you're still mind controlled, so you can't really do much. Now on to the third card, which is the rarest of the Kennys, and it is Inuit Kenny, which is one of the coolest looking ones, especially like when the first game came out. I definitely wanted this guy, and he is legendary, so you won't be seeing much of him running around, but he's a very situational type of character, and depending on who you're going against, it is definitely worth it. So this is the third Kenny you unlock at rank 25, but because he's legendary, you might not see him as much. But what makes him good? Now, his Death Wish is a one-hit killer, so whoever kills this unit, so whoever kills the Kenny, will instantly die. Now, in a certain meta, which is right now, it is standard many immunes. If you wait for him to charge up ability and you place Inuit Kenny down, normally the person will panic and just quickly kill the character. And if they do that, then Inuit Kenny will die, and so will standard many immunes. And this goes for anything, so basically your main goal is to kill a tank. Now this obviously won't work against N Cartman, but Sheriff Cartman or Awesome or even Manbear Pig will definitely be a target for Inuit Kenny. And it is especially hard for him to try and die to a certain unit, because if they have a Manbear Pig, and this is what I mean by situational. Now if he doesn't die to Manbear Pig or a tank, and dies to like a Rat Swarm or any assassin really, it's kind of bad because you're losing energy. Most assassins cost 3 or 2, so you're kind of losing energy. Now it is a big play if your tank manages to kill Inuit Kenny, because they will instantly die. But he's legendary, so you won't be leveling him up as much, so let's look at his stats. Alright, well before we start, just going to point out his card art is one of the best in the game in my opinion. He costs 4, his legendary is part of the adventure theme, 96 health, 102 damage, and it's quite a deadly card if you play him right. So if you look at his max speed is 1.4, so definitely a slower Kenny. Inuit Kenny is also considered a low tier for the adventure theme, especially like since there's so many better options than him, since you're any other Sally or Ike, even Stellar Many Moons now is one of the most used legendary out of the adventure theme. So pretty much your goal for Inuit Kenny is to die, similar to Cyborg Kenny, but the difference is that Cyborg Kenny you kind of want to get some hits off. Inuit Kenny you don't really want to get any hits off, since that, you know, if he's hitting the person kills him, then the hits don't really matter. So obviously you can put him behind a tank and let him just do some cleanup, but because he is a legendary, this is kind of good, because his stats for level 1 would be quite high. Well, considering for Kenny at level 1, and you know you want him to die, so you won't really have him at a high level. Like the gameplay I showed before, I spawned him in front of Stan, and he was so weak, Stan almost one hit him, and because of that he wasn't able to get off his freeze ability. So stuff like that is pretty clutch, and he's once again very situational. So you want to like think about what role is he going to fill. If you're versing a lot of standard mini-moons, he's definitely an answer for him. Especially in nowadays where people use standard mini-moons and Mecha Timmy, meaning that if you can spawn Inuit Kenny down, and either one, they will completely wait to use standard mini-moons ability because you don't want to die, and you can save a lightning ball or fireball for Mecha Timmy. So it's definitely a good answer for a certain deck. So to keep balance, he has kind of a slow attack speed, which is 2. If you compare it to Cyborg Kenny, which was 2.1. It's minor differences, but you do pay up pretty good in the game. This actually makes him the 24th fastest character and the 3rd slowest Kenny. So he is a legendary, so you're lucky to even have him. But if you have him at level 2 or level 3, he is actually a pretty good card because he will have quite a decent health and attack, meaning that he can be quite useful to use for defense rather than offense. But I think one of the best things of having him at level 1 is that he dies quick to cards that you kind of want to answer quick to. For example, Terms of Fester or Nathan, who are pushing you from the line, you can spawn him in and he will probably die within 2 or 3 hits, and it'll get rid of that problem for you. But let's go to our ranking list, and because he is a legendary, that kind of dragged back just a little bit, so I'm going to say that he is going to play 2nd, which is in front of Hermes Kenny and also behind Cyborg Kenny, just because Cyborg Kenny is just better if you scale him, because he's able to do more damage and survive. And also I think his ability is more useful because Inuit Kenny more or less resets the fight rather than counters it. So if you spawn an Inuit Kenny in to an assassin, the assassin will probably die and so would yours, so you're both at like you're both resetting. But if you spawn Cyborg Kenny in, then he's got answer to both cards unless the tower kills him, because if that person gets mind controlled, then your opponents cannot go answer to it or you're going to lose a bar. And finally, last but not least, we have is Princess Kenny. Now, this is my favorite, one of my favorite cards in the game. Is either her or Canadian Knight Ike. So, Princess Kenny is a beautiful card, and you'll see why in a couple of minutes. So, you unlock her at rank 40. So, she is the last card that you pretty much unlock, because the other one's Chicken Coop, and you know, there's no one usually Chicken Coop. But Princess Kenny is definitely one of the best abilities in the game. So it's simple but very effective. So the target who kills Princess Kenny will have 0 attack for 10 seconds. Now, this also, the main reason for this is because it also affects the new kid. So if you send Princess Kenny in and he gets a bar, the blast radius will take out Princess Kenny, and then the new kid will have 0 attack for 10 seconds. So this is the only Kenny ability that works against new kids, but also this means that you're able to use it in PvE and will make the boss fight have 0 attack for 10 seconds, which is actually pretty useful since they got a lot of attack. But the best part is when they are down for 10 seconds, you are able to spawn in a bunch more troops, especially rats, and since the tower is not doing any damage towards your rats, they have to spawn in certain troops and answer pretty quickly. There are many combos such as any flying units, because many people don't really have answers to flying units, and if they do, they kind of rely on the new kid to do a bit more damage to them. But let's get on to her stats and see what she can do. Okay, so Princess Kenny is a 2-cost common card, which has 49 attack and 49 health. Now, if you think that's really low, that's because it is, but you gotta bear in mind this is a common card and it is level 1. Meaning at max level 5, you can have her up to 160, 170, and it is complete, she's deadly. So, because she's a common, you'll see her a lot more, but since the only drawback is that you have to be at rank 40 above. So if you see someone, if you're a rank 40 or above, you will definitely have this person in your deck if you're using fantasy. Now, the reason why she is one of the best cards in the game is because her attack speed is actually 1.8, making her the 10th fastest character in the game, and also the 4th fastest assassin in the game, with Underpants, Gnomes, Rat Swarm, and Deckhand Butters being above her. And especially what makes it powerful is that she's a common, since the meta right now, and even before, and probably will be for quite a while, is a lot of common cards. Now, this is the reason why you see a lot of adventurers being used, because Sally, Ike, and Calamity Heidi are all 2-cost cards, which seems to be the most powerful thing right now, since you can easily get her to level 5. And if you manage to get her to level 6 or 7, she'll be unstoppable, because she is fast, strong, and also has a pretty good death wish. Now she was technically nerfed or fixed, as they called it, so whoever kills Princess Kenny will have 0 attack for 10 seconds. But in the newest update, they've changed it now, so you're able to purify it, which isn't as bad. But then again, purify was also nerfed, so using your purify to like stop someone having damage for 10 seconds is kind of like pointless, unless an assassin kills Princess Kenny and he is attacking the opponent's bar, then it's probably worth to purify it. And she also is the cheapest Kenny out of everyone with 2 cost, making her a deadly combo with anything really. She also has a speed of 1.4, meaning that she is quite fast and will definitely need to act fast against her. Coming to an end now with the rankings, so with Princess Kenny being a 2 cost common card and with one of the fastest attacks in the game, I'm going to say she is going to be number 1st, making her the best Kenny out of all Kennys and making her the winner of this card showdown. So definitely 100% is her. There's no really exception if you're using fantasy and you're not using her, because she is a super good card and she'll make you win games, especially with her fast attack speed. Yeah, she's almost able to defend any attack and even also get 2 hits off any like large fighters like dog poo. Even against rat swarms, she's actually pretty good, because she'll normally take out about 1 or 2 depending on what levels they both are, and if that happens then there's 2 rats left, meaning one's gonna have no attack and one's gonna be things. So pretty much she makes the other rat useless, so your tower or any other fighter can just take him out. So that's going to wrap up this card showdown for Kennys. Princess Kenny is number 1, 2nd is Cyborg Kenny, 3rd is Inuit Kenny, and 4th is Hermes Kenny. Let me know your opinions. I guess it's kind of mixed between Inuit and Cyborg, but I think mostly people can understand or agree that Princess Kenny is one of the best cards in the game and also the best Kenny. Now make sure you've voted for the next episode on what the card should be. I'll put a list up, so your card, well, the person might not be there for this week, but I'm only going to put up 4 options, meaning not everyone can be done. So out of the 4 that I pick, just comment or vote and you might make that card win. So as always, please hit the like button, especially for this video, because this takes quite a while to make. It's been probably editing for about 3 or 4 hours for this. So this video I expect to get some views, so I want to give a shout out to a guy called AkaPeopleWhoAnnoyYouGuy. So he recently just got banned on Twitch for having his name as AkaNagaGuy, which I'm sure everyone get their reference. Randy. He is a streamer, so I'm not really sure if he is YouTube, but if I do find out, I'll link it down below. But just give him a follow, because he kind of forced change his name and also he lost his channel, so I'll be pretty pissed if I was him. So let's make it easier for him. But thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, please like, button, subscribe, because these videos take quite a while to make, and thank you for watching. Peace.